Hey, how are y'all doing? So, I'm not up very much today. I'm only up like 3 points, but it's mainly because I got no filled on this, which I tried to enter on it, but I just I had to enter with the limit order because I kind of saw it a little bit late, but it's whatever. But I got this trade, which is really good. But anyway, I saw some people taking some other trades earlier. I didn't really like much else earlier. I didn't really see anything I really wanted to take. So nothing before this was really worth it to me, but I'll just go over everything. So, and also one thing I'll talk about is, days like this where it's kind of hard to see the overnight highs and lows. It's probably not even in play, so I'm just gonna delete it and leave it out, because whenever a day starts off in a trend exactly like this, like there's no clear overnight levels, and then it just bursts through what technically is the overnight level, it's really just not in play. Sometimes that happens, and then I just really don't think that the overnight highs and lows are in play, because sometimes that'll happen where you get the overnight levels, but it's just like one trend going up through it, so you're basically just putting it on a few bars, and then price comes back to it, it doesn't even react. So I've noticed that before. And anyway, let's just get into this. So we're in this uptrend here. 830 is around this area right here, which I started trading a little bit after that today, but I was far up into this trend up here when I started. And so we were in this uptrend here. We got these lows, we got the highs, it fits pretty well. And then you also have this short term in here, but I didn't get anything off of it because nothing could even get back to the EMA, so there's really just nothing to take here. And finally, when we do get off the EMA, you had just bounced off the highs, and when you bounce off the highs of a channel, you're expected to reach the other side. It's kind of like range rules. When you come off one side, you're expected to reach the other unless price proves otherwise beforehand. Kind of like here, when you come off one side of a channel, you're expected to reach the other side unless price proves otherwise. In this case, it did, because it had a downtrend break, new low, and then a reversal back higher. So at that point, you would technically be able to look for longs before reaching these lows here. So price proved otherwise is what I'm trying to say. And there's really no entry. You do get this next leg down, so it kind of looks like leg down, then second leg down, but it breaks the key entry point. You don't get an entry off the key entry point. It doesn't hold. And a break like that, I mean, you still have this trend in play here. And here's the thing about, like, you have a double top here, with this right here and this right here. I don't really see that as two legs down, really. I mean, kind of. It really looks like a double top and then a leg down to me. But I could be seeing things wrong, so I just didn't think it was worth it. And then even this area here, at this point now I clearly have two legs down, so now it looks like a double top, then two legs down. You have a break of the uptrend. When you get a break of the uptrend, you can expect prices to make a new high. But I didn't want to enter before prices are like holding above the EMA, because at the time I was still thinking, because I still had the overnight. I shouldn't delete it, to be honest, but I still had the overnight level. I was like, what if it does try to fade back in? For peace of mind, I wanted the EMA to be holding above prices, or prices to be holding above the EMA. And then when we do rush above, we immediately rush back below, which is not a good sign. And so we get this higher low with a horrible bar, and then we do get this good bar after, but I'm just too sketched out at this point. And then also it kind of just looks like you can just draw it like that. You can draw it off that low right there, and then it holds there. I would want to break, and so really, I think any entry outside of that break right here, or after the break, I think is a lot better. But I really don't see anything I wanted to take here. Now, I was looking at this. I was thinking, okay, we have this uptrend now, and then you have this higher low inside of this short-term uptrend while expecting a new high for a bigger uptrend. And so if I would have gone for 1-to-1, I could have gotten out before those highs there, but I didn't want to go for even 1-to-1, because kind of like how I was explaining over here, when you come off one side of a channel, you're expected to reach the other side. You just came off this channel here, the highs of this channel, you're expected to reach the lows, and price hasn't proved otherwise yet. It only has one leg down. If you get two legs down, like right here, which is a downtrend break, new low, downtrend played out, then it can recover with the uptrend before actually reaching the lows. That didn't happen here yet, so it's not a valid buy. So Anyway, we push up, we make a new high. So the uptrend has a break, new high, uptrend played out. Then we went a little bit congestive. I don't think there's anything good to take. You get this right here, but it's like you are shorting into a range right here. I don't know why I keep deleting them. I just have a habit of uncluttering my chart as soon as I can, so I tend to do that during the videos a lot too. But anyway, you're entering into this range low as well as the EMA. And it's not the fact that you're entering into the EMA that bothers me, because there are lots of trades where you can enter into the EMA. The EMA, it matters with context. We have a very bullish trend. At this point, we've gotten very far away from the overnight highs here. Every time that we've gone below the EMA, we have gone back above, and it's like I would really, at this point, I would want to see something below the EMA, because it's been holding above all day, basically. You'd really want to see some confirmation. So I just wasn't a big fan of this particular trade. And, when I put it like this, to try to look at it as if it were live, you have uptrend, break, new high. You don't have this range at this point, so you can't really say it's a range breakout. You can kind of start to see it look sideways, but that's not really a range. It's just kind of a shallow downtrend that reversed. Anyway, I just don't see anything there. Let me zoom out here. So we push lower, we go into this downtrend. We have a break, new low, price attempts to reverse higher, ends up pushing lower. So basically, this uptrend played out. It ended up successfully, reversing, at least on the short term. And so we have a leg down, break, second leg down, and let me go over the shorter stuff too, shorter term stuff. After this downtrend plays out, with a break, new low, price tried to reverse. It failed. It made a second leg down, tried to reverse again, and it ended up stalling at the EMA, making this little range right here. There's really nothing to take. It's just congestion. Just let me get that drawn again. So it's just congestion. You don't get any breakouts, so there's no way that you can find any trades in there. Then you get a second push lower, and now you have two legs down. And then after you get to the second leg down, you attempt to correct once. It doesn't quite reach the EMA, nothing to take. Then you get this good correction here. And if you drew that off those highs right there, then you could have ended up getting this right here, except it has a trend line right through it. There's no, I'm not going to take that short personally. And so you can try to wait to see if you get a good failed second entry below the EMA, but you don't even get that. You end up pushing lower, and you get this lower high right after this really bullish bar, closing back above, and then barely getting able to close below the EMA with that bearish bar. Or it's not even really bearish, it closed in the middle, but it's just not a good lower high. And so you push lower, and then you break. So the downtrend here has a break. Just let me adjust, it's not quite how I had it. And you can see it as a break and a new low. I mean, really, to me, it's like, it all depends how you draw it. Like, if you draw it from that body there, it's like obvious, it's like holding. But I included the wick, and then it's like, it's probably like this. That's such a small break. I'm just gonna try to fit the whole trend inside of it, inside of here. So anyway, no trades yet at this point. It was nearly 11 by the time I got this, or it was after 11. And so uptrend, break, first attempt to a new high, second attempt to a new high, and I did consider possibly this being the trend here because it's such a tiny break. In the end, it's still uptrend, break, two legs to a new high. So the uptrend here played out, and then I had a range at this point is the thing. I don't know why I removed it, if I did remove it. So at this point, we're off the range highs. I was, like I was saying before, I was debating between this right here and this right here, but in the end, I ended up thinking that it was here. I just wanted to see how price reacted to it, and then price did react off of it, so I knew it was there. Then you got this breakout. Most breakouts fail, and yeah, the uptrend played out. You get two attempts to a new high. The signal bar closes out of the short-term trend line, and yeah, I mean, that looks really good to me. I don't see anything wrong with it. The only thing that could possibly be said that's wrong with it is you have a bullish bias, but you've been going sideways so long at this point. It doesn't matter. And the uptrend played out, and then it didn't continue higher, which means that clearly after this uptrend played out, that clearly exhausted the bulls if they're not going any higher. They clearly just reversed after that, and then it's like you're just shorting at the highs of the day. I mean, that's really not bad. So, yeah, basically it ended up going sideways enough to where shorts are okay. We get 2 legs down, so that launches a really big move because it launches a 2-legged move down, and then it tries to reverse here. You get that higher low. It doesn't work out for long. You know, it's just a short term, tries to reverse, doesn't work out, ends up making this double bottom here, which is pretty common before a reversal. It'll make a bottoming pattern like that. But then here I tried to take this dumb trade, and it's like when I took it, I knew, like I felt like I knew that it wasn't good. And so I kind of tricked myself. So basically, I tricked myself into thinking that it was more bullish than it was. So, like I was saying, it's very sideways at this point. I don't think that this uptrend is in play because it played out with a break in a new high, and then it was never able to successfully get past the highs after that. And it just kind of reversed instantly, so I thought it was done. But then at this point, I was thinking, oh, it's bouncing early in this range. Maybe this uptrend's coming back. Maybe it's a bullish imbalance. And I do think it ended up making a bullish imbalance, but I don't think at this point in time in the range, I don't think it was appropriate to say, oh, it looks like it has a bullish imbalance. You do get that double bottom, but then I basically just took a higher low because I don't consider this a failed second entry. I've been talking about this as much as I can. Like, there is a first entry short, second entry short, failure. It's a failed second entry, but right here, it's just uptrend break expecting a new high. This right here, this is a big picture failed second entry. This is a better trade than I took here because it's uptrend break, first attempt higher, second attempt higher. It's a first entry short, second entry short, failure. It's a big picture failed second entry right here. I was basically just taking this as a higher low, a big picture higher low, because it has a break of that channel there. Because this will need a break. The structures need breaks when you're going for big pictures, not just candles. And so I got stopped out there, but anyway, then it made the real entry. This is just one of those early entry areas. It ended up making the real entry right after. So we get a couple legs up. We go into this mini range at the highs. We break out again. Most breakouts fail. And then also, I was still experimenting with the highs, and I put them here, and then it bounced right off of it. That actually made me more confident about this trade right after, because I felt like I was right. Like, maybe it is right there. But in the end, you know, when you get breakouts of ranges, it's like they will often go to the same level, and then you can end up extending them there. So at the end of the day, I think that the range is here, but at the beginning, before we get that second breakout, I think that it was down here. So I don't get filled on that one. I think I already explained this one at the beginning. I took it as a lower high, and basically the reason that I was fine with just a lower high, because usually I would want a lot of momentum for it, is basically because I got my beliefs confirmed when prices tested that level and immediately rushed below. So it's a bounce on one way of viewing it, it's a bounce. The other way, it's a failed breakout, successfully, very successfully and strongly rushing back below. And I was thinking, you'll probably get a second leg down, but I did not get filled, so that's unfortunate. And then it ends up making a two-legged move there, so I really wish I got in. Anyway, we push lower, and we make this leg down. We get a couple legs up. We're trying to reverse. Ends up stalling there. We get the couple legs up. We immediately rush back below. Now here, I just want to talk about this little setup right here, because you can see, like, first entry long, second entry long, failure. Now even this right here is technically a failed second entry. First entry long, second entry long, failure. That's a terrible setup right there as a failed second entry. You can literally just draw a downtrend right into it off those first couple bars. If you can draw a downtrend, if you have a setup like that, a failed second entry, and you can draw a downtrend through every single bar and it's in the same downtrend, then it's not good. a good failed second entry will have a break. It'll be like this. It'll have a break, first attempt lower, second attempt lower. Now, ideally, you would not want the first attempt lower to already make a new low. But my point is, this right here, that's a very small picture failed second entry. That's just using the ticks. You're not going to get big moves that way. You're not going to catch them. Obviously, in this particular instance, if you shorted after that bar, you would have made a lot of money. But if you want to be consistent with big 1 to 2 targets, you got to wait on the breaks of the structures, not of the candles with those little ticks higher. You have to wait on a break, first attempt lower, try to enter on the second attempt lower. That's a big picture failed second entry. We push lower, we bounce early again, make this double bottom here before reversing higher. We go into this uptrend here. Little uptrend break, new high. Clearly there's some bigger pattern forming, it looks like. It looks like it, kind of, but it did break pretty fast after that, so, you know, you could just be looking at a couple legs up here. So yeah, I guess we'll see how price reacts to that measured move. The measured move's right to the channel highs, so let's see if we'll see if we turn down, I guess. But yeah, that's really it for the video. I've finished the review. So yeah, I'm gonna think, what else can I talk about? I don't know. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something. I gotta get this uploaded, so anyway, I'll see y'all next time.